All right, in this video, I'm going to cover everything you need to know about keyword cannibalization, what it is, how to avoid it, and how to find it and actually fix it. So first of all, what is keyword cannibalization? So keyword cannibalization is what happens when two pages on your website are targeting the same or very similar keywords and end up actually competing with each other, with the result of Google showing both of them or sometimes neither in the Google search results. So why does keyword cannibalization happen? So keyword cannibalization happens mainly because by having one or more page targeting a specific topic, it's not actually clear which page is the most relevant one. And so Google is going to show whichever one, or in some cases ones, it thinks are most relevant. Now, why is keyword cannibalization bad? So first of all, there's a couple of reasons actually why it's bad. Firstly, the main reason is that you end up with lower rankings. So in most cases, what actually happens is you have more than one page in the search results and they both just end up ranking lower than if you just had one page. So having two pages in the search results might sound like a good idea because you're thinking, I'm going to take up more space. But the real world result is that usually they'll just end up somewhere far down the search results, like something on page 5. And in some cases, none of the pages will just rank even at all. So instead of being on page 1 with one main page, you just end up with multiple pages way down the search results where nobody's actually going to see them. And so you end up with far less traffic to your website. Now, the next problem is that the pages are actually competing with each other for ranking on Google. So because they're so similar, they're actually competing with each other, which is why they typically both end up ranking lower than one main page, which just covers the topic. So another thing to note with this is that typically neither page is going to contain enough information to actually completely cover the topic it's about and therefore be page 1 worthy, because the content on that topic is spread out over multiple pages, so it just won't rank as well. You have to remember that one of the main things that gets the page to rank on page 1 of Google is being the most relevant result that Google can show compared to other websites as well, not just other pages on your site, which is hard to do when the information is spread out over multiple pages. Now, the next problem is that it actually dilutes internal link relevance. So what will happen is if you have multiple pages on a topic and they each have the same anchor text from links pointing to the different pages, this is going to reduce the relevance of each of these links. So by doing this, what you're actually doing is you're telling Google that multiple pages are relevant for that keyword or topic, but this is not actually helpful because now Google has to decide which one of these is more relevant, and usually this just does more harm than good. Now, the fourth point is that it actually lowers your overall conversion rate. Now, the reason why this is the case is that naturally, one of these pages is going to convert better than the other. It's just how it always is. And so what you want to do is you would want all your visitors going to the better converting page. But the problem is if you have two pages ranking and a portion of your visitors are going to the other page that doesn't convert as well, you're going to be missing out on conversions you could otherwise be getting if they were all going to the page that was ranking the best. Hey guys, real quick, if you want to add at least $100,000 to $300,000 per year in new business, guaranteed, or you literally don't pay, go to dominatemarketing.io to book a call with us and we'll show you exactly how we'll do that for you. Back to the video. Now, here's an example of what keyword cannibalization would look like. So let's say you're trying to rank a plumbing website for keywords relating to the word plumbing. So when someone types in plumbing, you want to show up. Now, if you've made separate pages targeting the keywords plumbing, plumber, plumbers near me, and plumbers in Sydney, there's a 99% chance that these pages are going to cannibalize each other because they're all about the exact same topic and the keywords are extremely similar. So your main plumbing page would normally rank for all of these keywords. So by making separate pages for each of these keywords, you're actually just diluting the relevance and confusing Google as to which page is the most relevant one for each of these keywords. Now, if you were to target plumbing and you wanted to rank for all the sub keywords, what you could do is something like this. You could have a main plumbing page, and then below that main plumbing page as sub pages, you could have commercial plumbing, residential plumbing, leaking toilets, and water heater installation. These are just a couple of examples I've thrown out here. And now what you would do is link each of these pages to the main plumbing page, obviously with the appropriate anchor text, such as plumbing, plumber near me, plumber in Sydney, linking to the main plumbing page. And so what that would do is that wouldn't actually cause keyword cannibalization, because all of these topics are subtopics of plumbing that are specific enough, and they're linking back to the main page with the correct anchor text, which is going to help clarify to Google what's going on. Now, as a side note, I'm actually going to make a whole video on internal linking pages in the near future. So if that's something you're interested in, stay tuned for that one. Now, how do you deal with similar keywords and subtopics? So one of the easiest ways you can decide if you should be making a separate page for a keyword is to actually go on Google and see what the search results look like between the main keyword and this keyword. So this goes back to what I was saying earlier in one of my previous videos, where I said everything you need to know about SEO is actually on page 1 of Google. So this is an example of this. If we open up Google and type in the keyword plumber, here is what the search results look like. So I've actually taken a screenshot of this to show you. So if you need to pause this video, you can pause them and have a look at each of these pages. I'm also going to put the link to this doc in the description, so if you actually want to go through this doc and look at these in detail, you can. But here's a screenshot of what it looks like when I search for plumber. So you can see here, number 1 result is Yelp. Then we've got Angie, top 10 plumbers in Miami. Then we've got Hernandez Plumbing, Falcon Plumbing, Aqua Pro, Wikipedia, Miami 24/7, Expertise, Roto-Rooter, 24/7 Emergency Plumbers, and House. Okay, so that's the results for that one. Now, if we type in plumbing, here's the results that we get as well. So if we scroll down, you can see that there's a Wikipedia page on this one, or this preview, that wasn't showing up before. However, these results are all now very similar again. Yelp, Hernandez Plumbing, Falcon Plumbing, this is a new one, Titan Plumbing, but we got Angie again, Wikipedia again, Bay Plumbing, that one wasn't before, but we got Miami Plumbing, Lime Plumbing, House. So like, let's say 8 of these 10 results are exactly the same. So these results are almost identical. All of the same websites with the same page are showing up for both of these keywords, minus some slight variance as we saw. Now here's what's interesting. If we go and we type in residential plumbing, here's what happens. Now we've got Douglas Plumbing. We have How Stuff Works. We've got The Spruce talking about home plumbing. We've got Miami 24/7 coming up again with the keyword residential plumbing here. You can see it's in bold. Then we got Home Tips, Home Plumbing Systems, a bunch of videos. Now we have Bob Hogler Plumbing. Hopefully I pronounced that correct. We've got this one, OT, and we've got DMC Service. So these are different results. Now, a totally different set of results. A lot of them with the keyword home and residential in the content or the title, which is not surprising. Now, if we throw in the different search result, water heater installation, you can see here again, another set of search results that are totally different. Home Depot, got a couple of plumbing services here. We've got some questions about water heaters. Then we got Lowe's, a bunch of videos about water heaters. We got Forbes talking about water heaters. And we have a bunch of water heater related parts and things to buy. And then we have the Family Handyman talking about water heater installation. This Old House talking about water heater installation. And Angie again, but talking about water heater installation. It's a different page. So again, it's a totally different set of results, and this time it's even showing some products, which tells us that the search intent of this keyword is slightly different to the other ones. So basically what this all tells us is that Google is considering plumbing and plumber to be very similar in terms of meaning, but residential plumbing and water heater installation are different. So as I said above, what I would be doing in this case is making one page to target the keyword plumbing and plumber. That's as one page. And then 2 other pages which target residential plumbing and water heater installations, both of which would be sub-pages of the main plumbing page. So you could use this method I've just showed you to decide if you should make a separate page for a specific keyword, or whether you should try and get your main page to just rank for that keyword in the case of, let's say, plumbing and plumber. Now, another thing you could do if you already have a website that's ranking is to see how well the particular page that you want to rank for a keyword is doing for that keyword. So for instance, if it's been 6 months or more and the rankings are flatlining and the page is actually ranking for some keywords, but the page is stuck on page 5 or something for the keyword you're trying to get it to rank for, this could tell you that that page is just not relevant enough for that particular keyword, and you might have to make another specific page, especially if all the page 1 results are of specific pages for that particular keyword, like I just showed you with the plumbing examples. Now, how do you find if your site has keyword cannibalization? So let's say you're working on your website and it's just not ranking well and you want to see if keyword cannibalization is potentially the problem. There are a couple of things you can check. So firstly, you can manually check your website and you can use Google for this. So the first thing I'll do is actually just go through the website and check all the page titles and the different pages and the meta titles and things like that and see if they are the same across multiple pages. Now, what you can do is also take your website and throw it into Google using the operator site:. So you take literally that and you would type in site: your domain into Google, and it's going to show you all the URLs that your website's actually showing for on Google. So I'm going to show you how to do this, an example of this right now. So if we go into Google, I'm going to type in site:, and then my domain, dominatemarketing.io, and let's see what happens. So now Google is going to throw out every page that it has indexed and is showing for your website. And then you can go through here and see the titles of these pages and see if they are targeting the same keyword. So you would want to go through all those results, like I said, and just make sure whether they're targeting the same keywords or not. From there, you could optimize whatever you need to. Now, another thing you can do is go into Google Search Console if you have this set up, which you should if you're trying to do SEO, and filter the data that you need, which will show you if you have some cannibalization going on, potentially at least. So here's how you do that. I'm going to go into Google Search Console and show you how to go through this process. So now we're in Google Search Console. What you would want to do is obviously select the right property, so the right website you're trying to take a look at, and you want to hit performance over here on the left. Sometimes it might say search results and then a drop down and then performance, so just click that. And now you want to apply a filter here where it says new. You click this one and you click query. And now you would want to type in a keyword that you would want to take a look for this website. So I'm just going to put in marketing for my website just as a pure example, and you hit apply. So now what you do is you scroll down and you click pages. And now this is going to show you all the pages that show for this keyword. So right now mine are the same, obviously it's just a www difference. But if you're having different URLs showing up in this list, it means you've got multiple pages showing up for keywords for marketing. And so this could be a good indicator that there is cannibalization going on. So you'd want to go into those pages and see if they are actually conflicting in terms of what they're targeting and the keywords that they have on there. So obviously that process takes a little bit of messing around because you're going to have to put the right keyword in each individual keyword and see what they're ranking for, which pages are showing up. But it's a good free way to get an idea if you need to clean up any cannibalization. Now, another option you have is to use a tool like SEMrush, which by the way, I highly recommend you use if you're doing SEO because I use it and it's really good. It gives you a lot of good info. And in this case, it'll actually give you a cannibalization report that will give you a health score as well as a list of pages that are competing for the same keyword on your website. So that would make it super easy to go through this process. Now, just make note that if you are using SEMrush or you're intending to buy it for this purpose, you need at least the Guru plan, at least in this point in time, to be able to access the cannibalization report. So that's going to cost you a bit more than the base report. So just keep that in mind if you are going to use it. Now that we have the list of pages that are cannibalizing each other through the process I just showed you, how do you actually solve this? So the good news is, first of all, is that this is not actually a penalty from Google, which means that you can fix this relatively easily by doing one of the following steps. So the first one is to redirect to one main page and combine all of the content. So this is typically the best solution in 95% of cases when it comes to keyword cannibalization. What you want to do is take the better performing page and combine the content from the other pages onto that page and then redirect all the URLs of those pages to this now new main page. So what this does is you basically put all the relevant content onto one master page, which combines everything together and then redirected all the old ones. So anyone who clicks that link now ends up on this master page. And this increases the chances of that master page ranking for your target keywords. You also want to take into account the conversion rate of all these pages. So what can happen is you can have one page that's ranking lower than another page, but it's actually got a better conversion rate. So in that case, what I would do is I would still combine the content on the better ranking page because it's ranking already better, and that's the harder thing to achieve, and then use the important elements from the higher converting page and use those to incorporate that into this new main master page and try and increase the conversion rate that way. So that way you should get higher rankings and a higher conversion rate on this master page if you've done this correctly. Now, another thing that's going to help you with keyword cannibalization is actually internal linking your pages with the correct keywords. So there are certain instances in Google where you're going to rank for the incorrect page on Google, but you can't actually combine them. So you'll find that this typically happens with pages, with websites that have a lot of pages like e-commerce stores and things like that. So let's say, for instance, you got a website selling car parts and you got a main page that's BMW parts. So it'd be, the URL would be /BMW parts. And then you got a sub page under that for engine parts, like as in BMW engine parts. So what you might find is that Google's actually ranking the engine parts page for the keyword BMW parts, or that the main BMW page ranks for when somebody types in BMW engines, which in fact should be the /engine page that I just showed you up here. What you would want to do is you would want to link from the page that's actually ranking for that keyword to the correct page with the keyword as the actual anchor text, which means the word that links to the page, it would be that keyword that you want the other page to rank for. So what that's going to do is it's going to tell Google that actually this other page is the correct page to rank for that keyword, and hopefully over time Google will actually switch these two pages and show the correct one. So also having external links coming to your website, going to the correct page with the correct anchor text is actually also going to help you in this scenario. So if you can build some backlinks with the correct anchor text to the right page, that will help. Now, here's a couple of things that you don't want to do when trying to solve keyword cannibalization. The first thing is to just delete pages. So while it might actually sound logical to just get rid of the pages that are ranking lower, you don't actually just want to delete them without doing the two things I just mentioned above, especially the redirect. The reason why is because you're actually going to end up with a 404 error if you just delete pages, especially if they were ranking, which is not going to be good for your overall SEO. But not only that, you're going to lose the content from that page that Google thought was at least somewhat valuable if it was ranking it at all. So what you want to do, like I said before, is combine the content from all the pages and redirect the URLs to the new page before you delete anything. Now, the second thing is no indexing pages. So no index is a code that you can apply on your page to tell Google not to index that particular page and not show it in the Google search results, which basically means that Google considers it deleted as far as it's concerned. It's just that it's still accessible on your site. Now, the end result of doing this is largely the same as if you had deleted it, at least in Google's eyes. So the same reasons I just listed above for not deleting a page apply here as well. You don't want to no index a page just randomly, because as far as Google's going to see it, it's going to be a broken link, and that's not good for your SEO. You want to make sure that you combine the content from that page onto the master page and redirect the URL before you no index anything. Now, the last one is de-optimizing pages. So some people try to actually de-optimize a page for a particular keyword to try and get it to drop for that keyword. But the problem with that is that almost never works well. And the reason why is that pages rarely ever rank for just one keyword. They're usually ranking for a group of keywords around it. And so if you try and de-optimize a page, even if it's ranking lower for one keyword, what's going to happen is it's going to affect all these other keywords as well, and you're going to lose a whole bunch of rankings. And so more often than not, this solution is just much worse than combining and redirecting the pages to a main page, because you're not going to affect all these other URLs as well. It's in fact going to allow you to keep the ranking for all these other keywords while increasing the ranking of the main page. So some final things to keep in mind regarding keyword cannibalization. Before you do anything on your site, you should take a holistic approach of the whole picture and see if combining these pages is actually going to help your overall rankings, or if it's actually going to hurt them, because in some cases it can. For instance, like the product example I showed you above with the BMW parts and BMW engines. I don't think combining those two would help you in this case, so you wouldn't want to do it. In some cases, you can optimize too much and focus on one specific keyword while ignoring tens, if not hundreds of other keywords that those pages are actually ranking for. And what that means is all these pages might be bringing you more traffic than that one keyword you're trying to optimize for, and you might actually end up hurting your website more than helping it by focusing on one keyword. So always make sure you take a look at the bigger picture before making any moves on your website. So this is it for the keyword cannibalization. If you want to get this document, I'm going to put a link below this video. And in my next videos, I'm going to cover what to do from here in terms of optimizing your website for SEO. Catch you on the next one.